Hello, everyone. Welcome to our last talk within UK UA Animation Lab, which is financed by British Council Ukraine with the support of Ukrainian Institute. Today with us we have Britt Raes, Belgian director, illustrator, scriptwriter, and teacher, who creates cute characters and duck stories for kids and adults. She's well known for two of her short films, which is Catherine and LUCE and the Rock, and each traveled to over 200 festivals, won numerous awards. And I'm really happy that Britt agreed to start on forums, because I believe that she has one of the best self-brand that she created with the help of her projects. Thank you for joining us today. So yes, in the end, we can have a short Q&A. So please prepare your question. You can leave them in the comments to this video. And I pass my virtual mic to Britt, so she can start.
All right, thank you. Such a nice introduction. Thank you, Anastasia. Yes, so hi, everyone. So yeah, like Anastasia said, my name is Britt. And today I will talk a little bit about festivals and forums and how to promote yourself and your films. Quick introduction about myself. Like already mentioned, I'm an animation director, I'm an illustrator, I'm a scriptwriter, I'm a teacher. So I try to and they overlap and they inspire each other. So the short films that I've made that you might know are Catherine, which I finished in 2016. And then the other short film is called LUCE and the Rock. This one I finished in 2022. I'm developing a new short film. I just got some funding for it, so I'm excited to look into making this one in the future, and hope you will see it somewhere one day, but I still have to make it. So it's called A Dog's Life. And I'm also developing a series called LUCE in the Lovely Land. And this is based on the short film LUCE and the Rock, which I finished in 2022. So yeah, 2 projects that have been done, 2 projects that are still in development. And during this presentation, I'll refer to projects using this as a sort of case study throughout the presentation. So at least you have a visual to see what it's about. I try to put things into kind of chapters, and the first chapter is promotion connected to your film and promotion that is created by your team. I will first mention like some essentials, which you already know, I assume, like creating a title, a synopsis, film stills, and a trailer. Those are basic things that you also often need to send your film to festivals or to other events. But these basics are really, they can set the tone and they can really give you opportunities to represent your work. I mean, the choice of your title can have is quite meaningful, as in if you have a title that is super long and difficult to remember, you're not making it easy for people to remember your film. So if you look at a good title that really connects to your film and that people can easily remember, then this can help to promote the film, of course. And yeah, a good title, what does that mean? Well, it's of course very different for everyone. It really depends on your project. So there's not really any clear rules for it. But test it out with people. It could also be that you really want to explore how it looks visually and that makes sense. There's a lot of reasons why a title can be a good match for your film. And write synopsis depending on what's the use of the synopsis. You might want to create different versions. As in, if you go and pitch a project that is still in development, you really want to have a synopsis that shares like the full story. But if you're writing a synopsis for a festival catalog or for an online release, you don't want to spoil the ending. You want to get people to, you get them curious to look at the film. So sometimes it's also good to have different versions of your synopsis for different purposes. Your film stills. Well, selecting film stills from your film, it's not always an easy job because there's often a lot to choose from. But yeah, it's again something really important because those film stills really represent your project. You share them online or in a catalog somewhere. Having a film still that really is representative of your film. If it's it shows your main character, or it shows the main location, or whatever is important for your project and for your film, so that people really, once they see the film still, that they first that they might get curious about the film, but if they've already seen your film, then that with the film still they immediately remember the film. So again, those stills also have different purposes in different contexts. So you could also have different stills that you use for different reasons. If there's an article being written about the film, you might be looking to use different stills than for an online release. So yeah, and then a trailer, of course, with the sense of your film, but often you also don't want to spoil the ending for this. If you make a trailer to promote the film, you want people to go and watch the film somewhere else, but you want to show enough so that they're curious, but not too much that they already know everything. Optional things are like making a press kit, making a website, making a making of, making printed material. There's a lot of things that you can create. It's endless, the amount of promotion you can create about your project. So it's also important to think about what makes sense to you and the project, and also the budget that you have available. Like building a website makes time. Creating prints, it's only if you have the money to actually do the prints that you can do it. So again, it's really different. It's really different for everyone. So some case studies, some examples about my own projects, like with Catherine. I started this website, Tumblr, which in the beginning functioned as like a bit of a making of website. I posted like images that were in just work in progress. Once the film was out, I put the trailer there, and afterwards, at the moment, you can find the actual film. I also put there like a list of all the screenings, and also contact information of like who worked on the film, like which production company. Also, the contact of the distributor is on it. So it really became this tool to showcase the development of the film, but also to communicate about the end result of the film, which is for this, because it was a Tumblr, I didn't have to pay anything. It was just me spending my time doing it. So I think that's also something that I want to touch upon during this presentation, that, I mean, depending on your budget, there's possibilities. It doesn't have to be, promotion doesn't have to be expensive. I mean, if you can, it's always fun if you can actually make some things if you have budget for it. But if you don't, there's still a lot of options that you have and a lot of things that you can do if you have time for it, and if you have, if you also think about it in advance, you can build doing every day or a week or every month, whatever, doing just a little bit. So it also doesn't eat your time at one point that you have to block 2 months to create something. If you can spread it out, like what happened organically with this website, it was spread out over the whole period of the production, and then after the film when it was being distributed. With LUCE and the Rock, yeah, when the film was in production, we shared like some sketches of the character design. This is LUCE, and this is LUCE and the Rock together. These are like some of my original drawings. So both of these things, we didn't have to make anything extra or pay an artist to create more elements. It was just the material that we had during the production that we were able to media, and it's a very low budget way to be able to share and do some promotion. Yeah, we also used the visuals from the film to announce the screenings and prizes that the film won. We made some lists as the film selections. So every month I posted posted an image of everywhere where the film would be shown. It's a nice way to tell the audience where to find the film, but also just you have relevant content to share. And it's also a nice thing to be able to, in a way, say thank you to the festivals that are showing your film by also sharing, promoting them and communicating about them. Again, use visuals that we shared it about showing the film on different. Those are some partners that worked with us, FTBF and Catnet. They are broadcasters and that showed the film online and on their on the television as well. We created a poster, and this poster we actually also printed it. And here you can see the lovely people from the Cookie International Interfilm Festival. It's in the desk there. So it's really nice to be able to see the film represented in real life in some tangible way. Because we had some budget for LUCE and the Rock, we were able to do this, to print the posters. We were also, it was also possible for us to print some stickers, which as you can see, I was very excited about. We also had like little pins and also some patches that I was really, really happy to share with people. And here it's you can see like this little drawing that I made for ECFA when the film won a prize there. So as a thank you for the festival, for the initiative of ECFA, I made this, and for the award, I made this little sketch of LUCE and the Rock, and with the logo, with their logo on it to thank them, to send it to the team, and then they showed it even at their award ceremony. So it's just by making the little things like this, it was possible to show my work even more. I didn't expect that they would wear it. Just a little thing. There were more people who were able to see my work. So then some promotion connected to your film created by partners. So second chapter, this is something that it's not really in your control. So you don't know if partners will create some promotion about your film. But if you are prepared, like for example, with the synopsis, with the nice film stills and with a press kit, if you are prepared, you can easily have some elements to provide them to be able to create things. So, for example, here you see at the Clermont-Ferrand Festival, because the film was there, you had the poster represented on banners. And again, because we had the poster ready, it was quite easy to share it, but they were the banners at the market, at the short film market there. It's the Dutch and the Flemish stands. So thank you to them for their support as well. Another thing is here an educational film education package, which was made, made by Cinequest. Again, you see the same film stills coming, and we were able to give them some elements that they could put in this educational package that was created about the film and about other films. Cinequest also did this really amazing thing, which I had no idea that they were going to do, but for their educational program, they made this giant inflatable character of the Rock, of LUCE and the Rock, which was, it was such a lovely surprise to see it. So it was amazing that they created this and that it could travel around whenever they went to do presentations or screenings. And now currently the Rock is, sometimes he looks like this when he's deflated. When I had to move him, because he's now residing in the studio of my producer, where he's sleeping. He's in a good place. We're taking care of him there. Something else that was an amazing surprise, the people from the Kikiriki Festival had this initiative that children wrote and drew about their favorite film that they saw at the festival. So I received like this such nice artwork and fan art from children. And the one below is in the class of a Canadian school, and that came to a presentation that I did in Ottawa. Receiving fan art, and then again, it's also something it's created by others, but it's a really nice thing that you can then share on your own social media or in presentations like I'm doing now. The short film LUCE and the Rock, it was also art program called Vive le Vent d'Hiver. And it's a collection of short films for children, which was distributed in French cinemas. And I got the opportunity to create artwork for this program. So I made like new illustrations of LUCE and the Rock in the theme of winter, because that's the period that they would release the films. And they even made DVDs. Again, you can see the artwork here, and in the brochure that's in the little DVD box, there's even like, again, this nice making of that shows like the artwork of and the development of the characters and elements like that. And those are things like if you if you keep track of those things, I mean, if you keep a nice archive of the elements that have been made during the development and during the production, distracted, a colleague was leaving. If you keep like the elements of your of your film, like everything that you do in development, sketches and everything, if you keep it's things that you can play with to promote your project afterwards. Another thing here is for the New York International Children's Film Festival, they asked if they could use some designs to create the visual style of the edition of the festival where the film was playing at the time, which of course, and we were very excited that they would use it. So that meant that everyone at the festival got like a tote bag. All of the guests got a tote bag that had the character of LUCE and the Rock on it. All the volunteers were showing the characters. So really excited that they asked us to work with this chapter, multi-purpose promo material. I'll explain a bit along the way what I mean when I talk about that. So, for example, here with Catherine, I had when I wanted to make stickers, and I was like, oh, maybe it's interesting if I have like all of the designs. I find it very difficult to choose myself. Okay, I posted it online to ask the opinion of people, like which one do you like best? And this way, so in the end, I had the sticker made. I'm wondering which one it ended up, 3, I think, or 7. So I had the sticker, but because posting this online beforehand, it also made it's a way to promote and get the audience engaged even before the sticker itself was made. So it is different levels, multi-purpose. Another example here, maybe you recognize that it's the same sketches that I showed earlier for LUCE and the Rock. So it's original sketches that I made during the development of the project. And they were just in black and white. And I came up with the idea, it's actually quite cute to have these drawings as coloring panels. So I made like these templates for big images to color, but also to have like the one on the left that you see that's tilted. It's you can cut and fold it into a little book, so you can make it into a coloring. You can make it into a coloring book, and so like I said, it's using the out that I already had. I didn't have to make extra drawings for this because these are the ones that I made during the development. And then I made like this little explanation on how to make your own little LUCE and the Rock coloring book. So with some festivals or events, we shared it so that people could print, or sometimes prints were provided, and that they could do like this little workshop. Here you can see at an arts and crafts table, and that was at the Ottawa Animation Festival, where this activity was offered as a workshop for the children that came to the festival. And another thing that I made was I started collecting like these little rocks during the process of during the production of the film. And I started painting eyes on them. And At the beginning, the reason I made it is because I made them for the people who were working on the festival team. The production took place during COVID, and this way, like, I gave everyone this little rock with ice so that they had some company when they were working at home. They could put it near their computer. And then I started taking these painted rock with me to festivals as company for myself, and took like different pictures at different festivals that the rock was traveling with me. And then I also came up with the idea, but this is also it's a nice workshop to do. Let me also make this this little how to make your own rock creature. And then here you can see again at the Ottawa Animation Festival all the supplies that they had, all the craft supplies, because there wasn't only the little coloring book workshop, but you also had the rock painting crafts table. And it was the amazing thing because everything was very prepared. This workshop, it could even happen without me having to be there and to give the workshop. So, like I said, this little rocks, it started more as a gift towards my festival team, but it really then evolved into an activity that I could use and share with events and festivals. A thing that I'm currently doing for my project, LUCE in the Lovely Land, because we are developing more characters and thinking of more stories. I've created this little questionnaire that when I go to festivals now, I take it with me and to get like some feedback from people about the new characters and the new designs. It's a nice way to do market research and to figure out what people, how people from different cultures react to the designs. But it's also, of course, it's a nice way to talk about their project, and it's a nice way to start a conversation. I think all of the examples that I just shared, like this questionnaire, the rocks, the coloring book, all of those are really budget friendly ways to promote your film. As you can see, like this, it's just black and white prints, so it's not expensive. The rocks, I just I collect them on the side of the road. So for any type of budget, you can come up with a promotional plan, I think. A last important topic, chapter, I think is showing yourself. So it's only if you show yourself that people can find you. So it's really good to go to festivals and go to other events, or online or wherever, that you share your work so people can actually see it. Because you have to, if you promote yourself, you have to show yourself. And of course, it's different for everyone. Not everyone feels comfortable with the same things. So it's really important that you that you do it in a way that's comfortable for you. And so that people can know who you are and what you stand for. So putting your work and yourself on a stage, a virtual stage or a real stage, can be really valuable. So I'll go over some of the events and festivals that I went to. One of the things that I did Animation Sans Frontières. This is an international training in Europe, where lots of young talent from different European countries are put together, and and you develop new projects. You do a lot of workshops and you get to know a lot of people. So one of the people that I met during this training was Luz Grosjean from Miu Distribution. And because we met there, she she took on the distribution of Catherine, which was it was the first time that we collaborated together, and I think I learned a lot from her, and it was really nice to grow together as within this animation world. So going to events, it's good for your network to show yourself and to also meet people who can show your work. Another thing I did was a European short pitch, which is an event where it's for live action and animation, and it's all people who have a project in development, a short film in development, that go and pitch there. So I went there together with my producer, and we pitched LUCE and the Rock there. So before the film was finished, we were already showing artwork, showing the design, showing it to a bigger audience. Then here at Interfilm in 2018, I pitched the short film Neko and Sue, which is it's a to the project A Dog's Life that I mentioned in the beginning, and A Dog's Life was it's the short that I'm currently developing, and Neko and Sue is like the same kind of same type of characters. So this event was like a nice way to get that concept out there and get feedback on it, but also to show that's the type of stories that I'm working on. I also went to Cartoon Springboards, and at Cartoon Springboards, I pitched Pet Lovers. Again, this is also connected to A Dog's Life. Here you can see it's a cat, but it's cats and dogs in this project. Then I went to the Ottawa Animation Film Festival, and there I presented like a making of of LUCE and the Rock to a nice big group of kids. And for this presentation, it's also nice that you have enough material. Then one thing I also, luckily, the budget that I had available allowed me to make some tattoos, fake tattoos, and people love fake tattoos. So I went to Annecy in 2022, and I tattooed over 100 people. It was really intense and really nice to do. And it's something I really love doing it, and it's because I like the tattoos myself. I was very excited to share it with people. And then people started putting it also on their Instagram and tagging me, and they started sending me messages. And here you can see some more people. It was a great thing to do at parties, and drunk people love getting fake tattoos. Yes, fake tattoos. It's an eye catcher. Then I also started to put the tattoos on rocks, on actual rocks. I discovered that you could tattoo rocks. So I was also able to then have these tattooed rocks that I could share with people. Here I am in Hiroshima. I did the Hiroshima Artist in Residence program last summer, and we got to present our films. We had quite a few screenings and Q&As and talks. There was also an exhibition there during the festival. So this was also a really nice way to show some other work that I've been that I want to create, and that I do more than just animation, because I managed to do some ceramics there, and I got to show them at the exhibition. So that was very nice. And I also created this diary about my time in Japan. And if you go to my Instagram, you can see more images, and I put it also online. So you can read more about my time in Japan if you want. So I think in general, whenever you're doing any kind of promotion, promoting your film and yourself, it's really important to keep in mind to stay really true to yourself and look at like what are your strengths and what are your likes, and really lean into the things that you like and and then connect them to your projects. For example, if you don't like Instagram and you don't use it, like don't force yourself, because you won't use it in a way that you in a way that really helps you or your project. But maybe you like knitting, or maybe you like programming a website, or maybe you like cooking, or any skills that you have and things that you want to learn or that you can already do well, or any of those things that you can connect to your projects and to promote yourself and your projects. So for me, for example, connected to a dog's life, like I love drawing portraits of people and their pets, but I reverse it so that you have like a pet owning a human. And so here, when I was asked to be a jury member at the Kaboom Festival, I proposed to draw some portraits of the festival guests. This is an example. I also enjoy making. I also enjoy giving workshops to kids. So at the Annieberg Festival, I gave like the rock painting and coloring book workshop, and I also love making zines. So at the Animest Festival last year, I did a zine workshop, and I drew reviews of the films that me and the jury members that were there that we awarded. But I also did a workshop that other festival guests could participate. And here you can see the lovely work of Tuan Nini. And this little workshop then became like a sort of alternative catalog, alternative digital catalog for the festival of that edition. And yeah, as you're promoting yourself and your work, sometimes people will also contact you to create something based on your work. So I was really happy to make for Annieberg, I made a children's trailer. And just recently, I also made this animated little video to create awareness about inappropriate behavior. And this is a video that I hope that will be released at festivals the coming year. So keep your eyes open for this one. And I have, a few last thoughts to wrap up the presentation. So before you start your production, think about and talk about the promo material already with your producer or other partners or your team, because it's if you think of the opportunities that you would want to do, if you have like a wish list of things that you want to do, it's interesting if you can keep it in mind during the production already. And it also, again, it depends on the budget. It might also be a reason for a producer to look for some more budgets if there's really something specific that you would want to create. But like I said, even with a very low budget, I really think there are things that you can do. So Look at the opportunities that you have and the potential of your projects. For example, there might be if you're making a stop motion project, there might be all these little props that you can give to people, or you can create an exhibition, or maybe you have your original drawings which you could sell or you could give to people. If during the production every now and then you film with your phone, this is already like a good starting point to create a making of. So the possibilities are, like I said, endless. So you also have to make sure you don't get lost in those opportunities. But if you have them, if you think about it along the way, and not only once your film is finished, it can be interesting, and it can create more opportunities. Then your strengths and your likes, play into them. Like all of the examples that I showed in this presentation, they made sense to me because of me being who I am and the projects and how they are. But of course, all of you who are listening to this, you're different people, and you have different projects, different likes. So really look at the potential that you and your project has, and it's different for everyone. And I think that's also what makes it excited. It's different opportunities for everyone. And then think about multiple purposes of projects. Something that I did during the a certain technique that you used for the production. Could I change this into a workshop? Or can I keep things to give it as a presentation? Is there something educational to be done? Again, it really depends on the project and a budget. I mean, it all influences each other, but I think it's interesting if you can look at different aspects and reuse things in smart ways. Managed the time quite well. Thank you very much, everyone, for your attention. As Anastasia already said, there will be a little Q&A now, but feel free to ask me questions now. But if anyone has any questions afterwards that you think of later, feel free to find me on Instagram and ask me questions. That's it.
Thank you very much, Britt. Well, you know that I admire your brand, and you're serious. And I think that a huge part of your success is that you create this super appealing character design that you can basically do everything. So my question, which I'm asking you every time we meet, when will you start finally doing merch and licensing all of this? So is it that complicated maybe to do that in Europe, or you're not ready to do that, or you were not giving any offers regarding that? Because I think this is you already creating an IP basically out of this short film. So it just has to be there.
Yeah, I think specifically with LUCE and the Rock and LUCE and the Lovely Land, I'm sure my amazing producer, they probably have a plan in mind for all of this, and I'm guessing they're keeping their eyes open for right partners to look into that. I mean, for LUCE and the Lovely Land, we have some the partners that we already have involved are Catnet, which is the broadcaster in Flanders in Belgium, the children's channel, and we have France Télévisions, and we also have an international distributor, Cake Distribution. but I think the main thing to answer your question is like I haven't really put my time and energy that much in looking for the right partners for something like that. It's also really it's a different network, it's a different world, it's different connections, and I'm super happy to be doing what I'm doing. And so is it maybe it's like a mix of being like scared because you don't really know, and so it's like it becomes like an excuse to be maybe lazy in some way. That you don't, I mean, lazy is not the right word, but it's like it feels like a very big step, and in a way it feels easier for me to create the content than to think about, oh, do I need to get like the right branding partner for it. But I do think like if you if your work is out there, yeah, by showing your films and by showing your projects, that's like a big first step for people to find you, and that opportunities can come. But I think it's a good remark that you make, that you can how active you are in searching for specific partners. It can really, that also has a big impact. If you're in your own bubble, then sometimes more can happen. Long answer to say like I don't have plans yet, Anastasia.
Yeah, I guess you just need a person that will take it over, and you will just say yes and no to kind of products that you can do. I believe this is that's what I think you meant by this yes. Long answer.
Yeah, but I think like maybe part of the story is also that like I live in Belgium, which is it's country where we have a lot of great support and we have a lot of great opportunities, but we don't really have this market that works with agents and representation. So I would really have to look beyond that to find that kind of representation, which is again, it's not that people in Belgium that it never happens, but it is a bigger step compared to finding support to create a short film. We do have that kind of support system in Belgium. So in that way, it's easier for me to create than to just find an agent or a publisher or something like that, because it's not in our market. But it's a very, very different for wherever you're based and whoever your connections are.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let's go to other questions. When you put a film's budget together, do you factor in all these promotion costs, stickers, merch, festival submissions, or do you approach that only once the film is complete? And basically the continuation of this question is, what percentage of the budget would you suggest putting aside for promotion?
Good question. And like in my case, that's also what I meant, like talk before production. For me, like with LUCE and the Rock, I really had I had like this wish list that I sent to my producer beforehand when she was making the budgets and when she was applying for funding in different ways. So they had put it already in the budget then. They calculated it before we started production. And then it really depended on like, okay, you apply for funding, but of course you're never 100% sure if you're going to get it and how much you're going to get. So we were very fortunate and lucky that we got the amount that we were looking for and hoping for, so that there was this space and room to create these things. But the room to make it was also there because it was already in the budget. So I do think it's interesting to have this conversation beforehand. But yeah, I mean, depending on Depending on the situation, you might also be able to get some promotional budget after the production. I think it's really good to look at the opportunities that you have within your country and within your structure, because sometimes the local funding might be able to give you some promotional support connected to a certain festival selection, and then you can and that you can't do it beforehand. But I really wanted to add, like in the presentation, some things that are really low budgets, so that even if you know that even if you don't have it in your budget, there's still possibilities to do things. It's nice if you have money and that you can make some things, of course, but even if you don't, it's still an option.
And I think that will be the last question regarding the forums. How are they different from festivals, and how promotion there would work?
I think those forums where you pitch your project, I think it's really, of course, you're promoting yourself and the way that you work. So in that way, it can create also unexpected opportunities. And it's also a way for you to figure out like how people react to your content. So it's definitely different than going to a festival, because a project the project that you pitch, maybe you don't make it, or maybe it changes along the way. But then again, who knows, maybe that's something that you could then incorporate into a press kit or into a making of, to show the journey that you've made and that a project made.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I believe there are no more additional questions. Okay, I'll have one last, as we have still some time. Do you ever consider it, or maybe you already did, collaborate with other creators or platforms to cross-promote your animations?
Cross-promote, like to...
Yeah, like you're doing posts, or you mentioned them on your social media and they mention you, something like this.
Well, in a way, like how I showed it in the presentation, like for example with festivals, I do try to do that, because creating this list of festivals and where they're selected, where the film is selected, so it's also about then you promote them and they promote your work. I think like with the tattoos in Annecy, it really picked up, and that people started promoting, doing promotion for me, which was really thank you to everyone, like Kintes and everyone who was just like starting to put it online. So I think that's also a good thing to keep in mind if you're really excited about something. This excitement really it can rub off to other people, and that they will want to. I mean, if you make something that's so fun, that you're excited about, then people will feel this, and they will share the excitement and also share your things. But I think for the rest, like for example, the example of Anibach is also a good example where it kind of happened, because they then I got to make this little video for them, for their for the children programs, and then it was shown a lot at their events. But it is in that way they are promoting my work again, but I'm also putting the trailer on my website and sharing it, so I'm also promoting them, so it really becomes like this win-win situation. And for me personally, it's how I really like to work, because I also really like to connect with people and to find this way of supporting each other. Like in the past, I've also organized in Belgium. I organized this little film festival where I curated a program. So I showed their films from other people. I was this year at the Animoche festival in Poland, and there I put together a program of short films. And it was so much fun in that program to have like all these short films that I really love from other people, and to be able to share it with this new audience. And it's also nice that because it's being excited about other people's work. It's you can show excitement in a different way than about your own work, because about your own work you might be insecure or a bit there's so many other levels that play into it. But when it's just like a film that you really like from someone, but again, for me, it's also about you create these connections with people then. I think if festivals want to ask more artists to put together curated programs, I think that's a nice way to have like artists support other artists. And a big thing also is like the zine thing that I did at the Animest and at some other events, where the idea was like to write a review about someone's film. It came from me receiving this fan art for that the children had made about LUCE and the Rock, and I just it was the best thing ever to get this. It was so exciting, and it was like, oh, this is something that it's a feeling that people don't often experience with a short film. So I really wanted to have like other artists that I really like to have that experience as well. And that's kind of how it came together to create those reviews and do it as a workshop. And it's really about, that way you support, you can support each other's work and promote each other.
Yeah, you're right here. Thank you again. We have to end. I wish you to finally find a perfect licensing manager, because I believe that all those productions coming from LUCE and the Rock in your upcoming series, all those characters, it's like a huge treasury, to be honest. And I would buy lots of that things for my kid, and I'm sure lots of others people would do the same. So thank you again, and best of luck to you in your upcoming project.
Thank you very much, and thank you for inviting me to do this. It's sad that it's coming to an end, that it's the last in the whole in the whole trajectory. So thank you for having me.
Yeah, and thank you everyone who been with us today, and goodbye.
Bye.